So mutual funds have emerged as one of the favorite investment instruments, and they offer diversification, high return, safety and various options to invest for every type of investor. But lesser known fact is that mutual funds can also be used as collateral in order to avail of loans if the need arises. Now, in the backdrop of restrictions on banks regarding unsecured loans that require no collateral, loans against mutual funds have emerged as one of the most liked from among the investors, offering borrowers instant financial assistance without having to liquidate their investments. To understand all of this more, let's get on board Shweta Jain from Investography. Shweta, good evening and welcome to the show. A loan against mutual fund, and we know when we talk about having an investment strategy, and especially having a goal-aligned investment strategy, one should really not dip into these kind of investments, or should not be looking at these kind of investment instruments at least to repay a loan. It's very, very, very imperative for one to have a loan repayment strategy. But just in case, talking about taking a loan against a mutual fund investment, what is that stage in your loan repayment that you might want to continue this? How you can avail this, we'll discuss further. But what should be that threshold beyond which, if you are likely to go, you should touch these mutual fund investments? Also, because the primary focus over here is you have tied up these investments to a financial goal. So it's very important for you.
Right, Kavita, thanks for having me on the show. Lots of different questions you've put on there. So mutual funds are for your goals, and that's what we've been talking about for many, many years now, that invest in them towards a goal in mind. But yes, what we tend to forget are that humans tend to put today before tomorrow. So today's consumption, whether it's a holiday, whether it's some shopping, splurging, takes more priority over, say, your own retirement in the future, right? So when you're talking about mutual funds and you've started investing and built these wonderful habits for the future, it doesn't really help that you're going to liquidate these for a holiday, what you started saving for retirement. You could make losses, you could get off track, a lot of these things, right? So what happens is these can be as an alternate to, say, taking credit card loan or personal loans. If you build a good, decent portfolio, usually the minimum amount of loan that you can take is 50,000. But there are some portals and websites that also give you lesser than 50,000, as low as 25,000. But one has to remember that it can't be the value of your portfolio. So against equity mutual funds, for example, you could get only, say, between 40 and 50% of the value. So if your portfolio is a lakh in equity, you can get loan of up to, say, 50,000. On the other side, if it's a debt-based mutual fund or part of the portfolio which is debt-based, you could get as high as 80%, and some providers even promise up to 90% of the value as a loan. So it's quite interesting that you don't have to withdraw. You get a better rate of interest than credit cards and personal loans. So that is one of the reasons why this could be a better option than the others.
So talking about the rate of interest, and also talking about the repayment that you might want to opt for these mutual funds, is there something like that once you take a loan against a mutual fund, you'll have to repay it also, and what will be the interest rate charged?
So usually it's between 9 to 11%, depending on who you're taking the loan from and what is the value of the loan. The repayment strategy is usually that you pay the interest, but you could add on the part of the principal as well. So it could be, for example, you only pay the interest for the year as an EMI and pay the principal towards the end of the tenure. The tenure could be anywhere between 1 to 3 years. There are some providers that charge a pre-payment penalty. There are a few that don't. So depending on your flexibility and your need, make sure that you're going with the right provider, and seeing that ideally there shouldn't be any prepayment charges. Also, I would just want to add here that there are a lot of other types of charges that could be added, and they could be small percentage or look as small percentage, but could add up to quite a bit of an amount. For for example, prepayment clauses could be there, processing charges could be there, reviewing charges, or all of these. So I have seen in some portals as many as 6 or 7 different kinds of charges, and adds up to a good 12 to 15% of the amount. So you have to make sure that while the interest rate might look lower, if there are too many penalties or too many charges, make sure you stay away from them.
Okay. Any specific tenure till when you can get the loan?
So usually between 1 and 3 years. So some of them
Okay.
are quite particular that they take only 1 year. Some of them give the flexibility up to 3 years.
So where do you go actually? Do you approach the fund houses or you go to a bank? What is the procedure? What's the protocol like?
So you could approach banks, you could approach NBFCs, even the new age mutual fund distributors, be it Zerodha, be it Small Case. They also provide a loan against mutual funds, and it's quite easy actually. It's usually a day or two. That is the amount of time that they take. Some of the for example, banks may have a little more tedious process like signing of documents and stamp paper, etc. But the more online ones are quite quick, and I think some of them even promise to disburse the loan within 4 hours to 24 hours. And most of them are terms and conditions that you just go and click yes, agreed to. I would definitely urge that investors, before taking these loans, read some of the fine print as well, so they are aware what they are signing for.
So Shweta, any specific type of schemes in equity and debt are we talking about, or you can just go and present your entire portfolio and then it's up to the NBFCs or banks to decide as to what should be counted in and what not?
Yeah, so that's very interesting, Kavita, because a lot of these banks or NBFCs, they have their list of schemes that they have approved for this. And there are some banks that, for example, would take only a particular fund house and lend only against them. So make sure, or a list of fund houses, for example. So they would only lend against them. Others, irrespective of how much you've invested, they may not be ready to do that. So that is one other thing that people should really look at before making sure that they are opting for the loans from the right providers.
Any specific age limit to take that loan, or even a 60+ individual who has an equity portfolio can opt for these kind of loans against mutual funds?
So usually there isn't an age limit as such that we are seeing, but ideally you don't want to do that when you're post 60. But it is available if they are looking at this, because this is against an investment that is already done. So there's not really a age limit that we are seeing.
All right, Shweta, it's time to wrap up this discussion. But then one last question on this topic: any do's and don'ts that you might want to recommend to our viewers?
Yes, don't take the loan unless it's absolutely necessary. Don't take this just for splurging on something that you offhand just think about it. Do take this as an option against your credit card loan, because those work out quite expensive. Do take these as an option against personal loans, and of course pay as soon as possible. Choose providers which are perfect for you, which suit your requirements, and where you are comfortable with their conditions.
So this was all about taking loan against your mutual fund investments, but then we also have to quickly move on to our question.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.